A wise man once said, you never understand someone's full character until you either A, hoop with them, or B, see them around women. Now, why are these things important? As men, playing basketball is probably one of the purest bonding moments you'll have. No words have to be spoken, your actions on the court speak for you. If you hoop with someone that likes to pass the ball and get people involved, they're probably going to be a really helpful person in real life scenarios, lending you money in times of need, giving you rides, letting you game share, sparking zero, just real G shit. Now on the other hand, if you played basketball with somebody that refuses to pass the ball or will hard foul you, that man is probably selfish and a hating ass nigga. Cause why are you as a grown man JBL clotheslining kids at a Sunday afternoon LA Fitness pickup run? That speaks a lot to your character. Now moving on to B, seeing a friend around women is important for many reasons.
Hey now.
Oh, James.
Don't drink.
But today, I'm gonna focus on one. Some men, for some reason, will do anything, and I mean anything, to impress women in a group scenario. And I won't lie, it's a rare occurrence, but when it does happen, it's generally one of the most eye-opening human experiences ever. The person you've been friends with for years is now telling a group of girls you just met 5 minutes ago a story of how you cried that one time when your mom forgot to pack your lunch in kindergarten. And next thing you know, the niggas got you in a headlock like he's prime Charles Oliveira. Shit is crazy. So today, I'm gonna go over some characters that absolutely cannot be trusted around women. Starting off, and it pains me to say this, Krillin. Now the reason it pains me to put Krillin in this video is because Krillin in almost any other life scenario is a stand-up dude. Every fight in Z, he was overpowered, but he would still show up ready to give max effort. But I want y'all to understand how crazy this man Krillin was moving in the Cell Saga. Trunks came from an alternate timeline where all the Z fighters got wiped because of the androids, and in the most crucial moment with the game on the line, this man Krillin has the ball at the 1 yard line to win the game. No defenders around him, and he starts running in the opposite direction. Like, this might be the greatest one-to-one comparison we have to the Iguodala Max Kellerman take. Because of all the Z fighters, we got Krillin with the fate of the universe on the line. And I've seen some people say, oh, well, he did it because it was the morally right thing to do. He didn't know if 18 was evil. Bro, if Android 18 looked like this instead of this, you telling me he's not pushing that button? Also, he's literally questioning whether he's in love with her, all because she gave this man a kiss on the cheek.
No, that's impossible, isn't it?
I can't! You have to! I can't! You have to! I can't!
And you know, I would at least suspect if Krillin was like, man, I just don't got it in me, coach. Let's draw up the play for another player. But nah, he destroys the whole controller. This nigga Krillin cannot be trusted around women. Put the entire planet at risk for a cyborg. And last thing I'm gonna say about this, Trunks must have been genuinely tweaking watching these events transpire, because this was supposed to be the timeline that he saved, and you got Krillin throwing it away for some box. Then simultaneously, your dad is getting rage baited by semi-perfect Cell. The trauma this man experienced must have been insane. But shout out to the Z fighters, because Krillin did all this slimy shit, and they still let him waste the wishes on Android 18. Maybe the greatest simping love story ever.
See you later.
Now this next character is on this list for a completely different and much more serious issue. Walter White. Before the drug money started piling in, Walter was a very simple man, worked as a high school teacher, and had a second job at a car wash to provide for his wife and 2 children, a family man. But the second this man touched a little money and got a cool alias, he turned into a monster. In many ways, but for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna focus on his interaction with the ladies. Now I'ma just get this out the way. He straight up essayed Skylar. He was going through a lot at this point of the show, so I can't really pinpoint why he did it. But yeah, he did do that. Then later in the show, he gets called into a meeting with the principal to discuss his behavior. And instead of, just saying he's been through a lot with his wife to amend the situation, he attempts one of the cringiest and aggressive pickup attempts I've ever seen in a TV show, all because his pride was hurt due to Skylar having an affair. Now I won't show the scene because it's very creepy and uncomfortable.
Do you think maybe I should call Skylar?
Now this next character falls along the same category of Krillin, but in my opinion is worse And I know you're thinking, how does it get worse than a man put his love for an android over the fate of the universe? Well, let me introduce you to this lame ass nigga Mordecai. Now I'll admit, most people won't agree with this, but I just feel like Krillin not having the conviction to kill something is less lame than Mordecai offing his best friend because he called him out on his simping. Like, if you search up the phrase lame ass nigga in the dictionary, there's gonna be a nice example with what Mordecai did to Rigby. And even when he does have a girlfriend in the show, he uses Muscle Man's wedding as an opportunity to talk about how he can't find true love in front of his girl. So even with the girlfriend, he's still a lame ass nigga. At least when Krillin locked down 18, he got married, never cheated on her, and started a family. And the thing about Mordecai is he gets mad when you call out his simping. He was even going back and forth with Father Time himself about being jealous of Rigby going out with Margaret after he had just killed him. Like, I know in most situations you definitely want to have Mordecai on your side, but if the situation involves people of the opposite gender, keep this man back at the park. Now, this last character is on a whole different level than the rest of the characters mentioned in this video. Some would say he's the Michael Jordan of harassing women, Joe Goldberg. And if you've never watched You, the best way I could describe this show is it's basically a Death Note live action adaptation. But instead of Joe writing people in his Death Note book, he uses his incel powers to go after women. Like, you know you're dealing with a real lunatic when 50% of the show is his own internal dialogue. And each season, it seems like he becomes crazier and crazier, finding new ways to justify his own actions. Season 1, he meets this girl Beck at the library, and instead of playing the long game and maybe waiting out her rocky relationship with her boyfriend, he goes on the offensive and kidnaps the boyfriend and locks him in a box. And the funniest part is, the guy Beck's in a relationship with is telling him she's not even all that and he can have her. But that just bounces off Joel's incel force field, and he eventually just ends up killing him by way of a peanut allergy. And the funniest part about that season is he eventually ends up strangling Beck to death. Because to his surprise, locking a girl in a box until she loves you doesn't really work. But in season 2, he gets Uno reverse card by a girl who might be crazier than him, Love Quinn. Like, really think about how insane you have to be for Joel Goldberg, of all people, to think you're mentally unstable. But then they team up and form a toxic super couple. But like all toxic couples, they end in one of the partners trying to off the other partner. But the shocker in this instance is Joe doesn't try to off her because she's trying to distance herself from him. No, she's so crazy, the only way to get rid of her is by burning the house down with her inside. Like, Love Quinn was so toxic, she had Joe in the first half of season 4 really thinking he turned a new leaf in life, only to figure out he was so crazy he was hallucinating that version of himself. And you want to know the redeeming quality that all the characters in this video share? We have no footage of them playing basketball. Coincidence? I think not.